I did, why I did it, there were the solutions that I came about. So overall, like the last question I asked them, like every company is there any reservation that you really have that prevents me from being fit for this position? They said no. Like, and they since it's an animal hospital, I showed them my dog too. Like, I told them I'm a pup. So the only thing they said is like, the only reservation that we have is you only have one dog. You have another dog. She's like, oh. I'm like, okay, you're just messing around. But it was a really cool company.
Oh yeah.
It was cool that you were there.
Yeah. But overall, it was a fun experience. I mean, hopefully I get that job versus the other job. We'll see what happens.
Are you more stronger in the UI side or the UX side?
More UI.
Same here. I would say too. Because I don't have any background in like graphic design. But I just do it because it's more fun, like fun or something.
Yeah.
Not as like
Yeah, well actually in every interview they're gonna ask you a question. It's like what is more UX or UI? First thing you should always say is although a site can look pretty,
Are you recording?
if there's no
That's
users
live
that
right there.
use it,
Oh, no way.
how to use it,
Awesome.
then you don't have purpose for that product. So
we're
UX is more.
gonna get started.
I mean, there's other companies, that's the problem. They're very divided on whether they're choosing because their past UX designers more UI versus
they're still looking for a UI designer.
So the biggest problem why I don't really want that job is more because when I came in.
Hey everyone. Hey. Hi. I don't have a microphone, so I'm going to try and project as best as I can. My name is Jordan. I'm going to be the host for Webflow LA. This is our first meetup, so thanks so much for coming out.
Thanks, Jordan.
Yeah. Thank you. Quick kind of pivot in terms of etiquette. I kind of prefer that it's more discussion based than kind of speaker listener. You know, I'm not giving a TED talk, so if you got questions, you can shoot them at me, and if we can answer them on the spot, great. If not, we'll kind of defer them to the end. So we're going to get started with a quick little video to kind of kind of explain Webflow and give you a little bit of a taste of what Webflow is. So, yeah, I got it. Next one.
Do we have audio?
Do we have sound? Because that actually is huge.
Is
Mirror.
if you
You know, we didn't check beforehand, so we might not have sound. I'm going to go check real quickly. Usually they should clear sound.
Yeah.
Check the sound settings. No 100 day, Christine.
there's no sound on there. It's weird.
Understandable. Like you do have classes.
Yeah, just like if everyone's like, right? I know it's like low budge, but
Typically,
After
HDMI
the
works.
meetup,
Where does that cable go to?
do you have the?
HDMI plug.
Yeah.
I was like afraid, I hope I don't flop out. So, luckily, I slept for like 16 hours.
Maybe if you click this one right here, at least you can display it on
I'm
top.
okay.
There you go.
I mean, it should be the thing.
So I just got there like,
I don't know. That's the plus.
Yeah, I think it's that thing.
overall, I think I did
Control over that.
Like I was telling Jason, like the last question I was asked during the interview, is there any reservations that you have? Everything, you touch bases on almost everything, so we'll let you know about it. It's at BCA. I'm the biggest animal hospital.
Did you work? First one?
It's in West LA.
Oh, cool. What do you like?
Yeah, it's right next to.
Alright.
Alright.
Here we go.
So we got sound now, and we are back online. So here's a little intro video to Webflow.
No, go back. Go back. There.
There you go.
Say hello to Webflow, the world's most powerful all-in-one design platform. Experience the flexibility of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in a 100% visual canvas. Craft precise website interactions and animations. All while Webflow writes clean, semantic code for you. Build with real content using the most flexible and powerful CMS on the planet. And publish to world-class hosting in a few clicks. Then update content right on your site in the internet. Design, build, and launch with Webflow.
Sweet. Can you hit the next slide, please?
Yep. Doing it.
Nice. So just to kind of give you a little bit of more information of what Webflow is, and actually I kind of want to gauge the room a little bit better. Has anyone used Webflow in here? Got 1, 2, 3. Okay, pretty good. For the people that haven't used it, it's a browser-based tool. The only thing you need to use it is a browser. So there's a lot of tools like it. Or I should say there's a lot of browser-based tools on the market like Wix, Squarespace, WordPress, and etc. But what Webflow does that's kind of unique is they let you kind of create custom solutions on a blank canvas. So you can create custom websites and solutions for your clients. So that's what kind of sets Webflow apart from its competitors. And another powerful feature of Webflow is the CMS. And does anyone know what the CMS is? Or has anyone used CMS before? We got 1, 2, 3. Cool, so CMS stands for Content Management System. Just to kind of put into perspective, if you're a business and you have a blog, what you would do is go into Webflow CMS, you create however many fields you need. Let's say it's a title, a photo, and a description. And then you just design one web page where you create the layout for that title, photo, and description. And then every time you need a new blog, the client or you only needs to enter those 3 fields, and Webflow will design the website for you. So you can do that 500 times, and Webflow will design 500 pages for you. So that's the CMS in a nutshell, and there's a lot of creative ways to kind of use data in your designs. And the next one, powerful feature that Webflow has, oh, we don't have to switch slides actually, is the editor. This is great for client handoff. So let's say you're a freelancer and you're working with a client. The editor is basically a link to a different version of the website where they can double click text, they can double click photos, buttons, links like that, and make quick minor changes that don't affect the structure of the website at all. So this is an alternative to a site like WordPress where you'd have to kind of learn a fancy dashboard and additional kind of bandwidth to learn how to deal with making quick edits, or it'd have to go back to the designer or the developers and they'd have to make those edits that way. So that's a pretty cool way to kind of handle client handoff. And then the last part is one of my favorites. It's interactions and animations. And instead of kind of describing it, I'm going to show you some of the animations you can do in Webflow. And I'm going to hop on my computer to do that. So give me one quick second. And we're going to get out of there. And let's refresh this page. Okay, cool. So this very first one, you can kind of see that these elements are following my mouse. And this is kind of a mouse over interaction. You can design elements to kind of follow you. And if you got some really cool gradients and stuff like that, it can look really rad like this. The next one is like a parallax animation. And we actually have some UI right here to show you how simple it is to create something like this. Here we got a progress bar. And then we got this little puzzle kind of building itself. This looks really complex, but in reality, it's just 2 interactions. We're moving and rotating pieces, and then we're just sending them back to their origin. And you can create something this complex looking very simply in Webflow. So we also got nice little mouse movement over here. You can create multi-step animations.
And then right here we got some cool little reveal animations. We got click animations. And then we got really, really nice hover animations. So it also comes with preset animations like bounce, jello, stuff like that. And you can really make your own custom kind of animation or interaction. And yeah, that's some of the stuff you can do in Webflow. Another example I want to show you is what Webflow did on their e-commerce site, and everything on here was built on Webflow, so this is all stuff you can do on your own as well. So yeah, and this to me is always the most fun part about any design process, is going in and creating the animations and just giving it that extra level of polish. So again, everything you see here you can do in Webflow
Without coding.
without coding, yeah. And this is kind of also previewing the e-commerce customality. You can customize carts and the shopping experience for your store or client the entire way through. So yeah, that's kind of animations in a nutshell. Let's see what else we got going down here. Yeah, and then just to kind of reiterate on the CMS, in case we kind of flew by it, I have another quick video that breaks that down for you.
Over the last 10 years,
sorry.
responsive web design has changed how we create for the web. And the things we design have exploded in complexity. Most of today's websites and apps are now connected with dynamic content that lives in a database. Yet the tools we use to design have been stuck in the past, which has forced us to hire a developer or write complex code just to bring our ideas to life. Webflow is the world's first design platform that integrates live data into an intuitive visual interface, completely removing the need to write code. It's called data-driven design. And all you have to do is tell Webflow the structure of the content you care about, whether it's blog posts, real estate listings, products you sell, or anything else you can think of. Then you create custom designs to fit your dynamic data, with pixel-perfect variations for every resolution. So when you, your team, or your client changes the underlying data, every part of every design linked to that data changes automatically across every device. Under the hood, Webflow creates a hosted database for you, writes all the code to link it to your designs, and automatically generates a CMS so you can quickly edit your content. Now you can create powerful websites quickly, without anything getting in your way. Only with Webflow.
Cool. So does anyone have any questions so far?
I have a question. As far as the CMS, I heard that now you're able to, before you had to host on Webflow, but now can you download the CMS? And
You can not download the CMS, you can export your collection data as a JSON file, and, or no, as a CSV. Yeah, as a
and
CSV.
host it on another,
Well, I mean,
like that's the big problem, if you have a CMS built.
so you're not locked into Webflow, but like you can take that data, and if somebody else will import it, then yeah, you could do that. But like your data's not like locked into Webflow. You
Whereas
can
before it was, but
it wasn't easy, but yeah.
But now is it easy to find a host that could host it outside of Webflow, the CMS?
I mean, the question then is, why would you want that?
Because you have, my thing is like being locked into Webflow as a host and being able to host, like if I have a client that already says, oh, I'm hosting somewhere else and I've already have this, and
How's their CMS editor? Like, how do they maintain their site?
I'm
How
not
easy-
sure. I'm just
Yeah.
speculating and kind of
I mean,
case by case.
The other thing is like I don't think anybody could provide better hosting than us anyway. So
Well, that's a question I brought up to him earlier
Yeah.
about. Is a big thing for me as a designer is kind of giving away a Weebly or a Wix type designer. Not that you guys are light years, I think, ahead of that is from a design standpoint.
Yeah.
But just saying, oh, and then giving my clients that access to that, like, oh, Webflow, and then they investigate Webflow more. Oh, we can build our own site now. Now, that's a case by case error. Some clients don't even want to enter that at all. Yeah. And then there's other crazy.
There's designers who replace our logo with their own.
Yeah, like the white label is a killer for me. Like,
yeah.
It's fucking.
Yeah, you can hide us and use us as your secret tool, but like if someone were to like actually look deep into the code, then they'll know it's us. But you can do that with any platform.
Yeah, of course. I do that when I look at other sites to see if scroll at Squarespace. Oh, yeah.
But a client will never do. Well, may never do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we don't lock your data in. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Sweet. So we're gonna move on to e-commerce, and before we do that, we're gonna kind of go over some differences between Shopify and Webflow. So I'm gonna do a cold read and go through some documentation that Webflow published, and then after that, we're gonna go ahead and build a quick store on Webflow, and yeah, it should be fun. So give me one quick second. And how's that look up there? Sweet. So when comparing the models, when it comes to design and code, you don't have to code on any of them, but you can build custom sites with Webflow, whereas on Shopify, you're gonna have to adhere to templates. And in terms of customization, you can already create custom solutions on Webflow, but to customize anything on Shopify, you're gonna have to learn their liquid template system, which I guess is how you would use their dashboard and things like that. So another benefit to Webflow is building complex and rich animations. To do that on Shopify, you probably have to go in and do some front-end code. As of right now, you live with whatever the template gives you. But there's a benefit. With templates come ease of use. So if all you need is a template and you're not looking for customizing your shopping experience in any way, Shopify might be for you. So you could check them out, but if you're looking for more custom solutions, Webflow is still the only platform giving you that. And both offer a bunch of templates, 100 plus. And then, let's see, this I always liked. A lot of platforms like Squarespace and WordPress and even platforms that are not design related lock you in with a 14-day trial, and they kind of make you give up your credit card information. So sometimes you get charged, which I think is a huge bummer. And the cool thing about Webflow is it's always free. You can spend however much time you want getting familiar with the interface, doing kind of videos in their university and educating yourself, and you can learn how to use the platform in its entirety before you actually ship something. So I always give my hats off to them. I think that's a really great kind of way to handle educating people and then handle them trying out your service. So I'm going to skip over a few things so we have enough time for our little demo. And then, yeah, when it comes to the buyer experience, Webflow lets you customize the checkout experience. So basically before, if you had a store and you built an e-commerce site on Webflow, and let's say you have this cohesive brand, right when it comes to checking out, you'd get slapped with like Foxy Cart or Shopify's UI, and it'll kind of break the whole experience. Now you can kind of maintain continuity by editing your cart, editing your receipts, your emails, and everything the entire way through, and you don't have to put anyone else's brand on top of yours. So that's a really cool thing. And again, you can customize your carts, which is neat. Let's see, Webflow provides an intuitive site management dashboard, while Shopify offers extra dashboard features. So this is referring to the oh, it's actually referring to their dashboard. I thought it was referring to their editor, which is the double click on content and change it. But you'll have that along with an extra dashboard feature that kind of focuses on the important things that your clients have to manage to ship and manage your store. So let's see. And like I said earlier, you can customize your emails. Shopify supports a wide array of payment options, while Webflow handles payment through your Stripe account. But more options are coming soon, and we're going to kind of hop on over to those little comparisons right quick.
Another thing to point out in terms of pricing, Webflow is less than a third of the price of Shopify Advanced, and they don't take a transaction fee, which is pretty huge and significant in my opinion. And then we're going to focus on the areas that Shopify is currently beating Webflow, but Webflow is working on these things. And you also got to remember our e-commerce is still in beta, so maybe these features launch with the official release. But as of right now, they're coming soon. So things like Apple Pay and Google Pay support, digital goods, real-time shipping rates, selling on Amazon, print ship labels. Oh, that's via integration. That's fine. You can find a quick little tutorial for that. And then fulfillment and payment via Amazon is coming soon. Product variants, customer analytics, gift cards and coupons, abandoned cart, and customer accounts. So, like I said, we're still in beta, so hopefully a lot of these things launch with the official release. But as of right now, Shopify currently has those, but we're on par with things like 24-hour support, mobile optimized site, checkout on your domain, global CDN, automatic XML sitemaps, Stripe payments, fraud analysis, and all these other features you see right here. And yeah, that's basically the code read. We just kind of went through documentation that Webflow dropped. And there's links to all of this in our little spectrum.chat. So if you need any of these links and you want to reference them, I'll give the link to this a little bit later. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and build a quick little Nike store. And we're going to show you how easy it is to kind of use Webflow. So I'm also going to throw out some music, because that seems appropriate. So give me a sec. Got a little workshop right here. Does the music play? No, right? Yes? Only for videos?
It should be playing. I
It
mean,
should
it's
be
the
your
same-
system output.
Yeah, it should be your system output.
I guess we will.
Are you playing it right now?
I just played it, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, bathroom speaker. Huh. Whoa, whoa. Oh, the music? Oh, should I stop it then?
No, it's okay. Go for it.
Okay.
If that's what you're gonna.
I mean, it's really just kind of like to fill the empty noise, but if you want to stream it, I would totally
No,
love
go
it.
for it. Go.
All right, let's do it. Cool. So, we got our little design file over here. We're gonna build this store in Webflow really quick. So, to start that. 420, 348. Sweet. Let's give it a corner radius of about 16. We're gonna give it a drop shadow. We'll make the blur like 30. Distance 10. Drop that down here. Drop the opacity. Okay. And then let's put some padding right there. And we're gonna add a gradient real quick. Sweet. And then we're just gonna tone this down a bit. Sweet. So let's throw in a image, and then we're gonna get that data from the products we just created. Okay. So the dimensions we want to use are 270. So let's adjust that. Whoops, clicked the wrong one. Okay, sweet. And then I'm going to use a flex box to center it. And now I'm going to throw in some text in there. And I'm going to get this text from the name. Okay. Gonna get rid of this underline. And then let's make this black real quick. And all caps. And I'm actually going to position it absolute and center it, but I also want to make sure that my card is relative. So we're going to push this down 24 pixels, and then we just got to build this little button right here. So let's bring that in there. It's 180 by 44. It's going to be black. And then we'll do a corner radius of 7. We're also going to throw a drop shadow on this real quick. Bring that down to like right there. And let's throw in that learn now text. We're going to put learn now. And we're going to make it white. Center it. And then we're going to use Flexbox on this little button right here. So we're also going to make this button absolute. We're going to put it on the bottom and bring it up 24 pixels and kind of center it this way. So sweet. So we got our cards, and as you can see, if you design one card, it actually designs all the cards for you. So we're going to do a quick little animation, hover interaction, and then we're going to move on to the product page, which is this one over here. So we're going to go over here, we're going to create a hover interaction, and let's start an animation. Hover, we'll call this Nike card hover. And then we'll name the state to on. Cool. So let's kind of make this shoe get a little bit bigger when we hover on it. We'll do 1.1. And then we're also going to move this card up 2 pixels. And we're going to move this button out of frame. So just click move, percentage. Let's move it down to, whoop, click the wrong one. I'm going to click this button. So we're going to move this down 200%. And we're actually going to set this as the initial state. And you can kind of see it looks a little awkward down there. So we're going to need to mask it. And to do that, we're going to have to turn off overflow on these link blocks right here. So I'm just going to turn off overflow. And then let's go back to our interaction. Sweet. And now, as you can see, the button is nowhere to be seen. And we're just going to bring it back to wrap this animation up. So we're just going to move it to the origin with 0%. Oh, again, click the wrong thing. I'm going to click this one. 0%. Cool. And then let's ease all these out with ease out quad. And we'll preview it once we finish the other one. So that's the on state. The off state's going to be a little easier because we just need to duplicate. So we'll duplicate this one, edit, make sure you change your state to off, and then we're just going to reverse all the work we did very quickly. So we'll put this to 1, we're going to put this to, this is the div block, we're going to put this back down 200%, and then we're going to put this back at its origin. So we'll do an ease in quad for these. And if we preview our site, our animation already works. So, oh, forgot to activate this one. So always make sure you activate it when you set it. So after that, it should work just fine. So we got our animation done. And cool, we just built a hover interaction. Now we're gonna actually build the product page very, very quickly. So let's throw a section in here. We'll make it 100 VH. And then we're gonna throw a container in here. Let's center the container with Flexbox. And then let's just expand it from right here. So first thing we're gonna need to design this guy is this little card right here. So we'll throw in a card, a div block. We'll call it gray card. And we'll get our dimensions from the Figma file. It's 960 by 488. And then we're gonna get our background color from here too. There we go. We'll give it a corner radius of 20, and then we're also gonna put a drop shadow on it. Something like that. And now we're going to throw a grid in here, and we're going to adjust it a bit. So we're going to erase this, whoops, I'm going to get rid of this bottom one, and then we're going to change the measurements here to 0.7. So we're trying to separate this content, so right here we'll throw in a div block. We're going to get the background color from the product, and then we're going to get the dimensions from here. So we got, let's just say 330 by 550. And we'll give it a corner radius of 16. We're gonna do another drop shadow really quick. Sorry. And we'll bring that down to about 15, actually is fine. Cool, and I actually want it to be centered, so I'm going to move it up just a little bit. Just kind of eyeball this real quick. Okay, cool. So let's add a gradient real fast. And drop that down a bit. And we got our card ready. Let's throw a photo in there. And we're going to call upon our CMS that we just created. Sweet. And we're going to center this real quick. Nice. So all we need to do is create this content right here. So let's go ahead and throw a div block in here. And then we're going to add a heading, some paragraph text, and this add to cart button. Sweet. So we're going to get our text from the CMS, and it's going to be the name, and we're also going to get our text color from the CMS too. Alright, sweet. And then for this text right here, we're going to get the description from the CMS, and then we're just going to style it over here. So we got semi-bold, and here's our color. Semi-bold, and here is our color. Sweet. So it's 14. I believe it's 16 in the design. 1.5 EMs. And then for this quantity text field right now, I'm just going to go ahead and call upon the price. And we're just going to adhere to the design for this. So this is 16 pixels. And let's just give it some space. Maybe like 24. And then let's just kind of match our brand and make this button black. Make the text a little bit bolder. And then we're going to give it some constraints. Sweet. So we already got our card, and just to kind of spice it up a little bit, we're going to make this huge text over here. Give this guy a, let's see, give this one a combo class. Of large, and then we're going to make this one, let's say 400 pixels. We're going to give it 1 EM. We're going to make it absolute over here. Give it a z-index of 1, and then go in to our container and give this a z-index of 2. And then let's drop the opacity back here. And yeah, we have our product page, and we designed one page, but again, the CMS designs all the pages, so all our products have their own custom page already set. And we did that just by designing one page. So yeah, that's kind of the power of CMS, and that's a preview of e-commerce. Now I'm going to go in and show you a more kind of polished out template available on Webflow for free, I believe. Let me see. Yeah. So let's just let the Wi-Fi catch up real quick. Yeah, and if anyone has any questions, shoot them my way while we're working through this. We don't have to be in silence, you know. But here is the template in Webflow. And again, you could use this template for your design if you wanted to. So they got categories like bestseller, top rated, last acts, stuff like that. And then we got nice little animations occurring as you scroll, which are really neat. They're kind of like featuring certain products. And they also have a blog. So let's click on a product. And then we got another product page. We could add it to cart. Here's a cart that was edited to match the brand and everything. And then, yeah, this is what a fully blown out e-commerce site can look like on Webflow. Just to show you other touch points for users and clients. We also have a checkout experience that you can edit. And you can get however creative you want with these, or you can just change background color, basically whatever you want to kind of just match the experience you're creating. You can do the same thing for the order confirmation. You can edit every piece of text or components on here. And then the last thing you can edit is the client emails. So the confirmation emails, I should say. So again, custom changes, you can add your logo, you can add different kind of content from the CMS fields that you have. And yeah, Webflow really lets you customize a lot of touch points for your clients and your users. So that's it for the demo. In terms of, trying to
stop Spotify.
Yeah, let's stop Spotify. But yeah, hopefully that kind of shows you how easy it is to design in Webflow. We're going to move on and exit full screen. There we go. And yeah, so basically that's our meetup for today. In terms of like future meetups, we can have other workshops where we can build landing pages, we can recreate dribble shots and things like that.
So it's really up to you guys. We're going to be doing this every month, so we can have freelancers come in here, talk about client billing, things like that, and kind of run you through the nitty-gritty of getting started, or we can do more design-based kind of workshops. So I'll leave that up to the community. Does anyone have any suggestions or ideas for upcoming meetups?
Or questions about Webflow first.
Or questions about Webflow? Yeah.
I have a question actually regarding e-commerce. So I was using the tool the other day to build to potentially build a client site, but then I ran into basically like a constraint within Webflow that I was wondering if it's going to be, I guess, like resolved at all, and that is the add to cart button. The add to cart button right now currently can only be added to a product page, and I was wondering if you can, or if it's in the plans for the add to cart button to be able to be added to any page throughout the website. And reason why is because then currently right now you can only have one product per page, obviously, and I know product variants is coming, which would solve some of that, but is there a way to be able to add multiple items to the cart from one page kind of thing? Hope that makes sense.
Me. You?
You should probably.
I should do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would know better than me.
Okay. Hi, I'm Nelson. I'm one of the, I work for Webflow as well as Renning here. And I'm a customer success specialist. I should stand up. Yeah. So to answer that question, yes, that is coming. That is a pain point that we hear from our community. And it's totally makes sense if you want to do something like I see a product, I want to quickly add to cart. And so we are working on that. So what Jordan mentioned is that it is in beta, and we're looking at all the pain points that we need to figure out. And the team is working hard to do a full launch sometime next year to have all these things. Like we just came out with pagination, so that's squared away, and we're working on variants, like you said. And we're also working on, so someone asked what kind of payment are we doing, payment processor. It is through Stripe only for the time being, but the team is working on Google Pay, Apple Pay, Samsung, no, PayPal. Yeah, so we're working on those three right now. And yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? They could be more general, not specific to e-commerce.
What about the chair?
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed it.
Oh, no worries.
But you mentioned Shopify, and I wondered, what do you think of Odoo or Hulu or whoever it's pronounced? Do you know that one?
Can you repeat?
OODO.
Yeah,
How it compares to Shopify or to Webflow.
Yeah, I haven't looked into that platform, so I can't say for sure. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. I'll check it out though, see what's up.
I'm curious because I know Shopify, but I just learned about Odoo the other day. So.
Okay. Is it a new tool?
It's a new name for something, Open ERP. I don't know what that means.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
Python and SQL and that kind of thing.
For sure. Yeah, I can look into it, but I actually have no opinion on it.
Just in case you had something.
Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah,
Shopify is
for sure. Yeah.
you were comparing it to Shopify. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say we're comparing to Shopify because that's currently the leader in the marketplace.
Right.
So it's good to know there's other options out there, but I think for right now, we're just gonna stay on board with this. But I'll look into that. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, I'm learning about Webflow for the first time too. So how
Cool.
long have you been around?
Webflow? I think Webflow's been around since 2013.
Yeah, so launched August 2013. The co-founders got funded through Y Combinator in spring 2013. And yeah, it's been going strong ever since. Yeah. Questions? Okay, you have
Yeah.
Inventory tracking, is that?
So right now that would be something that you would have to manage yourself, but
There is an inventory field.
there is inventory, but it's not like it's very like basic tracking in the sense like you provide like whether you fulfilled it or not, and but like to do something kind of like FBA or whatever, like that would be farther in the future, but for sure like something that we will want to do as like we kind of tackle e-commerce and stuff.
Yeah, because the future to be able to
nodding toward. Also, like, what about different levels of e-commerce? Like, Shopify has like 3 or 4 different levels. Like the buy button is like the cheapest, like $9.99 a month. You can just put a buy button and then have the cart versus.
What's our I think our discrimination is just like scale, like size of products and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's no limitations.
No, but I mean, as far as the monthly fee that you showed, $72 versus the $299 Shopify.
Yeah.
Which that's their highest Shopify one with like all the bells and whistles.
Oh yeah. I mean,
so then like Shopify also offers like their lowest one is $9.99 on like a buy button that you can put a buy button and still use their cart and their dashboard. And and then there's like the $29.99, there's like $39.99, and then it's $79.
So you're thinking about the pricing and what are the
I mean that's the whole thing. Like for me, I signed up for the beta like for Webflow in 2013, and I've been doing it. And it's I don't build. I'm not a web design studio that's just doing website after website. I'd get like clients ask for a site, I build it, and it's almost like an a la carte thing for me, like to kind of like I'll go up, sign up. And then, all of a sudden cancel the subscription once I built the site and then sign up again. And for somebody like myself, it's a commitment because, you're paying like $60 a month for Adobe, I'm a freelancer, I'm not a big studio. It's like, there's, the pricing for Webflow, it's a thing, it's not a great expense. And if you're working on projects, it justifies itself, and you're selling
you can also
website.
add client billing, so you can add extra money for your bottom end on the client's payment. So if you want to make maybe like $100, you can add $100 to their billing, and you start making $100 through client billing.
Well, that's the thing with Shopify too. Like if you have a Shopify Partners account. Any sites that you sign up through Shopify, you get profit sharing and stuff like that. So that's also an incentive because I get like on my PayPal account, I probably make about like $800, $900 a year just.
No, like I totally can see that being like an issue if you're building and designing the thing and then kind of like exporting off of Webflow to a different account, because then like you kind of have to like play with the subscriptions and stuff like that. But if you stay like on Webflow and like have them add their domain or whatever for that particular account, then like you just use client billing and you'd add your percentage or whatever to the.
What I'm explaining is a little something different. So like if you sign up for Shopify and you get approved for their like partner side of their thing, then any of the sites that you build on the Shopify platform that are hosted through Shopify and all that, you get paid for anything. Like any of my clients, I probably have 15 sites on Shopify, and I get payment for every site that's hosted through Shopify and that. So it's like an incentive for me to keep using their.
So there is an affiliate program with Webflow too. So we can talk more about this.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting on it because I have a little bit. And I know a lot of guys here don't use Webflow that much. So I'm looking like longer term and like more trying to jump from Shopify because to be honest, it's like. Once I see all this like one integration, the design tool versus like the e-commerce, now I'm like super intrigued and trying to make, I'm going to keep the clients already locked in there because the sites are built and they're done. But then all new clients, I want to kind of migrate over to Webflow. But, and I know it's building. I mean, it just came and it's like we're in beta. So, but it's exciting. And these are all things, if they're going to compare ourselves to Shopify, then these are things they need to look at. Incentives to bring designers to it. So I mean, I'm here. So.
We've added features that and started programs to help the community make money.
Yeah, the designers, right?
Yeah, the designers.
It's a designer-based software.
We're trying to. The whole point of Webflow is to streamline the workflow for designers, to take away as many technical barriers as possible. That way, you don't have to rely too much on a developer. You don't have to rely too much on trying to set up a very customized user experience for that whole e-commerce user flow. You can build it however you want. And if there are ideas or other ways that we can help you, the community, make more money with our affiliate programs or way we can fix our pricing, we would love to hear it. And like he was saying with client billing, you can build a site for your client, add client billing, and then the hosting fees go directly to your clients. And on top of that, you can put in your own profit margin to those monthly invoices. And so say the hosting is like $72 for e-commerce, and then you say you tell your client, no, it's $100. So you take that difference directly into your bank, and 72 goes into ours. So you make up your own price, and yeah. So yeah, but great questions, and I'd love to speak to you a little bit more after this.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Anyone else have any questions about?
Oh, you got one right there.
I was looking at your hosting. What's your storage capacity? If so, how does it work?
It's not really about storage. It's more on the bandwidth of how many visitors per month. Okay, so you can upload as many assets as you want. You can upload background videos. You can upload PDFs, docs, Word docs, and whatnot. But the monthly unique visitors to your site per project is it's on that chart.
Yeah, I already saw it.
Yeah, so it's based on.
For some reason, if I have about 10 terabytes of stuff to upload.
But what is that
okay.
stuff?
Actually, documents.
Documents.
PDFs. Yes.
PDFs.
I'm a legislative drafter, and I've collected everything for about 50 years, and there's a lot of stuff.
Renting. Can we handle that renting?
I mean, we could, but like the primary thing that we have right now is there's limits on like the number of CMS items and things that you could add, and with each of those items, like there's like a certain number of like maximum number of fields. So I think like at a maximum, like you're kind of capped out at about 50,000 like unique files or whatever that you could upload. But if you actually need more than that, then you would just like reach out to customer support and like we'll figure out a way to like either relieve those limits and let you do that, but it'll probably be a different pricing thing because for the most part, like we still do have to provide like that bandwidth and storage for your terabytes of stuff, and if we gave you like 10 terabytes of storage monthly, like that's more than like what we store for everybody already currently, so that's kind of a
You would be the first.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
My site is not a commercial site, it's a vanity site, so there's no cost to the public.
Okay.
So, before I leave, I would appreciate to know who to talk to, because my wallet's good and I want to move on.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. We can talk later, and then we can figure that out because we do have enterprise, special enterprise accounts. So yeah, I would have to relay that up to the other team.
And like not only that, I'm sure maybe a lot of other people know, but like there is like a whole network of like designers on Webflow that you can hire for jobs and stuff like that.
I fired them all very quickly because a lot of them don't understand law and terminology.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, when they don't come on time or communicate with me, that's the easiest way to say have them on stage or part as friends.
Yeah. Well,
I do have some people I've hired. They like me a lot because I pay.
yeah.
No problems, and I completely understand what you're saying, but unfortunately we're dealing with a legal world in which does not always translate to the technical world.
Yeah.
There's a learning curve.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Another question. What do you mean by like limit API versus full API?
So limited API versus rate limited API versus what?
Full API.
CMS API.
Well, I think there's actually still technically like a rate limit for everything, but that's just so that like nobody can like abuse like a lot of stuff, because a lot of like our CMS update APIs, like they're for like updating mostly static stuff. So it's like if you have a blog page that you need to update for some reason at 100 requests per second, like you probably need to talk to one of us and figure out like what's going on here, like why is your blog article being updated that often. But if not, like for the most part, like our rate limits are like very sane, and like for any other use case of somebody just like either offloading or downloading stuff, it's usually not a problem. The only problems come when somebody's trying to do like really high frequency like updates to a single item or something like that.
Cool. Can you touch on the white labeling, like the price, like the basic, or no, like the actual designer prices?
Yeah.
So then like, the entry level, there's like the free, then there's the is it basic?
The account plans you're talking about? Yeah.
So there's the like
this one here.
It's like
Yeah,
16,
yeah.
and then the white, like at $16, like any site that you design in that is always going to have that made with Webflow on the bottom right.
No.
Nope.
Not at the $16. So why what's the difference in the white labeling?
So what white
description
labeling is just
the exported code.
The white labeling is just the editor toolbar, and that's something we can show later if you want. But the editor toolbar is our CMS, and we have our Webflow logo on it. You can replace it with your own logo to hide the fact that the CMS is a Webflow CMS. Now, if you look at the bottom right, right there, it says Made in Webflow. That's the badge you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what.
To remove that, you would need to either export your site, which will require a Lite or a Pro account, or add on a site plan onto your project, and that badge will go away.
So in any paid plan, that badge is not there.
Correct.
Yeah. You can
Even the
toggle.
lowest one, 6 and up.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. That's only for like things that are still under like the webflow.io domain, and like you're just using
okay,
it
that's
like you haven't
confused.
paid
It's
for
not
anything.
really
Yeah.
explained clearly. Like you see that, and you're just like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Because it does mention something about white labeling as you scroll
Yeah,
down.
the white labeling is more for like
The
the
CMS.
editor, CMS,
CMS editor.
So that way, like,
So that's
when you-
client facing.
Yeah, exactly. So when you have like clients updating articles,
Do you want to show
or
it
whatever.
real quick? Where's your site? Oh, right here.
So is there ever that I talk about an a la carte solution, like somebody
that's
that
a
doesn't want a
preview?
monthly plan? I mean, I know it's like I explained, I'll sign up
Well,
and then I'll
so-
cancel it, build a site, cancel it, then sign up again another month. Like,
Yeah, so you could actually, so there's two types of plans. There's the like designer plan, and then there's an actual site hosting plan. So the designer plan would be something like if I want to like build, I don't know, like 500 sites
There
and
it
keep
is.
them all, like all of their, I don't know what to call it, like
Assets?
each designer, yeah, each of their assets in one thing. Then you gotta like you'll pay for that. But if you like can somehow limit yourself to just 2 sites, then you don't have to pay for Webflow at all. So.
and you can only export out of the not out of the light plan, but the next plan, right?
Light plan and Pro plan.
You can export code
Yeah.
out of light plan as
Yes.
well.
You can export out of all of them.
Yeah, except for free.
But the CMS you can't export.
You
Or-
can. So
that's where I'm confused,
Webflow CMS
I'm
is
more of a
unlike,
front-end designer.
is unlike WordPress, where you can take a package, deploy it on any server, and it's open source. Our CMS is closed, and so if you want to take the data out of our CMS and put it somewhere else, you can, but you cannot use the actual CMS. So what we're showing you right now is the CMS. The only difference between the real site and the CMS is that bottom toolbar. So if your client wants to maintain their site, they don't have to go to anything like a WP admin, where the UI is completely different from their website. No, they go to their actual website. The only difference is that bottom toolbar. And so if your client needs to edit something, all he would have to do is say, oh, that's the wrong name of the shoe. I'm going to click on this. So this is the client's point of view. Air Cortez or something like that. All right? And I click outside, and now I click the publish button, and now that is live. I've edited an e-commerce store without having to go to completely weird UI. It's right then and there. And if your client has any orders, they can go here, see their orders, mark it as fulfilled, and move on with their day. If they need to edit their e-commerce as far as their products, their categories, or anything else, they can do it from here. If they want to do it if they need to fix their SEO, they can do it from here. Everything is right here in this toolbar, and everything they need to edit as far as their content, like this is the wrong description. It needs more blah, 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 right? They can click outside. If they want to choose a different photo, I'm sorry I'm going through your hard drive, but okay, cool. I'm going to change it to this shoe, and now, with the power of internet, go. Well, it'll happen. Live demos, beautiful. But, Renning, fix it.
So that bar is only like on
Yeah.
their site that they're hosting. So they're not being
Yes.
taken actually to the Webflow site to have to
Yeah,
manage
no,
the
they-
content.
they don't-
Oh,
they-
that's cool.
Yeah, they don't know if you can remove the Webflow logo on the
So
bottom
Webflow,
left.
as far as they're concerned, is just the CMS manager. They don't even know it's a.
Yeah, they can. So
I mean,
what
they can
some
investigate and
people,
Google it, but fuck.
yeah, some of the community members have used the editor white labeling to remove Webflow and put their own logo. And also the monthly invoices that your clients get if you use client billing will have your logo instead of Webflow. That way, Webflow is your secret weapon, and you can tell your clients, "Oh, I made a really cool customized CMS editor for you, and it's really easy to learn. Just click and edit something." And that's how people get away with it. So.
So as long as they keep paying you their bill,
All right, it's a lot clearer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm glad to clear it up. Yeah, it's a completely different tool than what many people are used to. But yeah. And I heard a lot of. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I have a pricing question. Can you do the pricing page for us?
Sorry if I'm taking over.
Oh no, you're good, man.
Okay.
What's the difference between this like website and then when you scroll down it says it's an individual?
Yeah.
What's the
So
difference here?
so these account plans, these would be more of like the designer view, and this would be the designer and their use of like the Webflow designer tool and the number of websites and assets that they can keep and manage. But the site plans above is for the actual like hosting plans for a particular site. And I don't, is this our redesign page?
Huh?
Is this our redesign?
Yeah, this is our
Okay.
redesign. We
Yeah,
redesigned
it was a lot more confusing before, like what
Yes.
it was, but there is a differentiation between like whether you're like a Webflow.com user and designer versus a client who has their website hosted on Webflow. And so the other kind of key thing is that like these site plans and hosting costs like can be offloaded via client billing to your client. So like that would be something that they would pay for and just kind of like passes through you, and you can add a cut for yourself or whatever. But for the most part, like that's also just for like the hosting and everything else for that site.
So if you build in a regular like website plan, you build a site, you decide, oh, I want to add e-commerce here, then you have to switch to an e-commerce plan.
Correct.
Yeah, like an e-commerce hosting plan.
Yeah, because there's 3 different setups, right? There's hosting, there's the website plan, and e-commerce now, right? So there's 3 different kind of tiers.
Yeah.
Is there any way to like try to bring that together somehow?
Well, kind of the key thing to think about is like there's the person using Webflow.com managing things, and for that, like if you, let's say you have a team of designers and you want like a team account so you all can like manage and work on the same websites or whatever. And then there's the actual hosting, because like different sites are gonna have different needs for hosting. Like you don't need to necessarily buy like advanced pro hosting for every site, especially if something's gonna be very basic and just like you might not even need like a real hosting account for it. So, but everything else, like it kind of sets it up so that there is granularity in the actual hosting. Because if you're managing like 30 sites, like your bill's gonna be 30 times whatever. But like if you're also needing to manage those, like that's like the designer itself is like an entirely like, in my opinion, like it's like an unmatched tool that like really nobody else has. And like for us, it's just kind of like, oh, well, it's it's just kind of part of like the Webflow.com, but everything afterwards is.
And just to piggyback on that, so if you're managing 30 sites, you're not going to be paying for those. You're only going to be paying for the designer plan. Yeah.
So for somebody like you have a lot of clients that you build sites, or are you hosting?
Yeah, I got
through,
like 16 websites on my account, and I only pay the pro.
And you've offset the billing to your clients for all
with
that.
client
Is
billing. And
every one of them are hosted on Webflow?
Correct. Yeah.
Have you run into any people like, well, I host on Webflow, I already have a hosted site here, like?
2 reasons to host on Webflow. It's on secure Amazon web servers. We give you SSL with your site plan, and also your site goes on Fastly.com content delivery networks, and they have what is it called, point of POP?
Presence.
Point of presence all over the world. And so wherever your user is going to your site, it'll look for the nearest point of presence and go to that server.
So it's the server closest to them.
Yeah, so it'll get cached in like Fastly's CDN network across the entire world. So it's like you get all of that stuff, and that's nothing that you even have to think about or manage.
Just press publish, and it's already done for you. Again, removing all the technical barriers.
Yeah.
Cool. I had a question. On the account plan, what's the difference with free staging and enhanced staging?
The free I know. Free staging is free staging is when you're on the free account, when you're a free account, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so free account is you only get up to 2 pages on your site. On the free account, it's a way for you to start learning Webflow and see if it's right for you. So you get 2 static pages, up to 50 CMS items. Okay, that's like one blog post. A CMS item is like a blog post or a blog author, one blog tag or something like that. And so yeah, that's the free. That's a free staging, and I think that's enhanced. Man, enhanced is just like free, but
better.
Like
So I'm just building a portfolio for myself.
Yes.
So would the enhanced really help?
No.
So what
if
I
it's
would
just one site, then
yeah.
So and then also like I had to click info to kind of look it up, but like so under free it's like up to 2 static pages, 50 CMS items, and I think enhance is just to denote that like there's more than just whatever the basic is, and you get 100 static pages and 50 CMS items, and that's only under the account plan, and that's like separate from the site plans and stuff.
So for the scenario, if you're for a scenario of a designer and you're trying to get up your portfolio site so you can start getting more clients and whatnot, what I always tell people is to stay with the individual free account, call it the starter plan. So stay with the free account plan and start building your site. And once you're ready to go beyond 2 pages, go ahead and add a basic or CMS hosting or site plan onto your site. So the only thing you're paying is either $16 or $20 a month for your Webflow site. Okay, and then you're covered. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
So if you're building the site and you're not using the CMS and you export the code, then you can host that anywhere, right? As long as you're not using the
Yeah, but then here's the thing. If you export your code, we're exporting the HTML, CMS, JavaScript, your images, and give you a zip file of that, and we say, okay, you're on your way, right? But then you would have to do all the technical work, which is finding a web host, making sure that web host is secure, finding a CDN if you want to use a CDN, and then connecting your custom domain name to it. So you're doing all the technical work, and if you want to edit your site, you can't edit it in Webflow and just press publish.
It's broken once you...
No, it's not broken. It's you just have to go into there. It is.
You have to go into the code.
You have to go into code, and Webflow's whole mission is to empower designers to build visually by visually coding. So you don't have to code, but if you export, then you do.
Yeah, and then you're kind of on your own. And like there's people that want to use like React and stuff in it, and like I'm pretty certain there's plenty of like forum posts of people like doing things that allow them to do that. So it's like, because that like when I first started using it, like that was something that I did. Like I built it in Webflow and then I export it, so I was like, oh, I can code and I can figure this out. And it was like, it's possible, you can do it. It's just a pain because everything is pretty unique to Webflow and just how it's built, and because like it's built for people who built it visually and not for somebody who like programmed it or whatever. And then the other thing is when you export it, like you just get the pages. You don't get like the actual like populated pages of like, let's say you had blog posts. Like you're not gonna get 100 blog posts. You're gonna get 1 page, and you'd have to figure out how to go from that CSV to the thing. So like you get your data, but like we don't make it too easy to use us.
No, I
use
just
us.
needed to. They offer like this great tool and like all this ease of use, but then there's some trade-offs. But you need, host it here. I mean, they got to make money, and I understand all that stuff. So it's
But like we also don't necessarily do that like just to make money. Like that is really the easiest way to like build a web page and like actually get all of those features like with Fastly and the CDN and everything else, and like because a lot of that stuff is like not like it's not non-trivial. Like it's pretty hard to set up.
Does Webflow like look like long term like it's going to stay as a private kind of company, like not acquired by Adobe or because Muse is gone and like
I totally understand. Our CEO actually talks directly to the community at the end of every quarter. We just had one this past Tuesday. We live stream it on our YouTube channel and on Crowdcast and our Facebook page. And every quarter, that question comes up because totally understand. We're totally under the radar. A lot of people still don't know us. And our market share, like 2% or something like that? It's like really small. And it's totally understandable. And people, our community doesn't want us to sell it. And our CEO always says, we're not. We're here for the long haul. There's even a Business Week or Business Insider article with the interview with our CEO that happened this year, I think. And the article was like, our company's making over 10 million with hardly any investor funds. I don't.
No, we actively turn away like investors because like
you've seen other like Frunt and McCall and all those guys. Like McCall came before Webflow. They're gone already, and it's like
no, like I think like our like independence is really like key to that sort of like and maintaining that and kind of like making sure that like our ideals are our users' ideals and not some VCs. So it's really
that's good because you guys are good evangelists. So
yeah. I mean, Jordan, thank you so much for doing this because he actually doesn't work for Webflow. He's actually a fan. He's a fan of Webflow.
He's a user.
Yes. Yeah. And we have many fans all around the world who are starting up these Webflow communities, Webflow meetups. Over 23 meetups now, and over 3,000 members worldwide. So, thanks to you guys are a part of that number. But these are true community members that really want to work with the web and make some awesome stuff. And that's why Jordan started this. I just said, hey, he wants to start a meetup, and he chimed in. And so, thank you so much to Jordan for doing this. Yeah, thank you.
Cool. And just to kind of move forward in terms of the next meetup, I'd really like to know what you guys want me to work on in terms of, we'll get to that. In terms of like next steps, would you want to be more hands-on and design a website in, let's say, 30 minutes? Or do you need more help with like billing and like setting up a client billing system to kind of work on your freelance work a little more? So more technical, kind of behind the scenes stuff. Any opinions on that?
I mean, I think like
I can show some examples.
One part of it, maybe a technical Q&A time for that, just to get in, like people might be having issues or problems or or sharing some like cool things that you've developed or figured out.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Case studies even maybe, like if you have a project that you work on that you think is super cool, to walk through that.
Like a case study as in like a product?
Yeah, or like a site that you build for a client, kind of from like beginning to end, like kind of how you approach it and how you pitch Webflow to them as a host and a product. Yeah.
For sure. So more on the freelancing side of it.
Yeah, that's more from my side. I'm just speaking for myself. But.
Yeah, I feel that. And I'm actually reaching out to other freelancers as well and trying to get more people in here so it's not just me always talking. So that's a great suggestion. A few ideas that I have on the board is kind of learning more about like creating like animations kind of like these. And there's illustration libraries we can work with to create stuff like this. Or we can do.
I like the idea of like recreating the sites. I think that would be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you could provide like assets or something, we could recreate something together.
Absolutely.
Almost like a create along type thing.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, that sounds really cool. So I'll consider that. One idea I did have was this one over here, which is designbetter.com.